On December 21 last year, we parted with a promise to come up with a new theme of the festival with new, more intense sessions. Respected dignitaries, esteemed members from Deccan University, Australia, esteemed members from University of Newcastle, Australia, members from Advisory Board Ciffi 2021, members from Festival Partners Ciffi 2021, students, participants, and dear faculty members. Good morning, everyone. I, Manmeet welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of Cineast International Film Festival of India, Ciffi 2021. This year, the theme of Ciffi 2021 is cinematic rejuvenation with #Cinema2021. It is a matter of pride that this is world's first 7-day hybrid film festival organized by 2 institutes from 2 different countries, DME Media School at Delhi Metropolitan Education, Noida, India, and School of Communication and Creative Arts, Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. It gives me immense pleasure to announce that for various sessions, we will be going live on our official Facebook page, and this session is also live on our official Facebook page of Ciffi. For more information, you can also follow us on our social media handles, and you can also follow and subscribe our official YouTube channel, DME TV. Great celebrations and ceremonies would not be completed without the blessings of the Almighty God. Before moving ahead with this ceremony, let's take the blessings from the Almighty and let's pray for the prosperity and the success for endeavors.
गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन, शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, सिद्धि सदन गज साधप गपध सपध सा, सिद्धि सदन गज वदन विनायक, कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबदायक, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, मोदक प्रिय मोद मंगलदाता, मोदक प्रिय मोद पद सर्गा सारिधसा, मोदक प्रिय मोद मंगलदाता, विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, गाइए गणपति, गाइए गणपति, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन.
This is Vinayak Mishra, a second-year student from DME Media School presenting Ganesh Vandana. On behalf of Team Ciffi, we pay our gratitude for our festival partners, Cover Drive Production, Vigyan Prasar, CMS Vatavaran, Kids Cinema 2020, Culture Cinema, We Care, Delhi International Film Festival, Asian Media and Cultural Studies Network, Australia-India Film Practitioners and Researchers Network, Global Media Education Council, Indian Documentary Producers Association, Indian Academy of Shorts, New Delhi Film Foundation. Our media partners are APN News, The Policy Times, and Hindi Gaurav, Australia का प्रथम हिंदी समाचार पत्र. We thank you all to associated with us for Ciffi 2021. It is the time to listen from our Chief Associate Festival Director and Head DME Media School, Professor Dr. Susmita Bala. I request ma'am to formally welcome our esteemed national and international guest for this inaugural ceremony.
Thank you, Manmeet. Hello and good morning, everyone. I welcome all the dignitaries, guests from India and Australia, filmmakers, film scholars, and students in the inaugural function of Sinistra International Film Festival of India, Ciffi 2021. Is the third edition of Ciffi. Under the corona threat, we are again compelled to conduct this film festival in hybrid mode. This is the world's first 7-day film festival in hybrid mode and film festival organized, joined by 2 educational institutions from 2 different countries. This festival is a collaboration venture of Delhi Metropolitan Education, India, and Deakin University, Australia. Together, we organized Ciffi 2019 in conventional mode and joined hands for Ciffi 2020 in hybrid mode. I welcome all those people who have contributed immensely in organizing this festival. I must make a mention of Dr. Vikrant Kishore, who has mobilized so many people from the film fraternity in Australia for this film festival. I welcome all the festival partners, including Cover Drive Production, Vigyan Prasar, Asian Media and Cultural Studies Network, Australia-India Film Practitioner and Researcher Network, हिंदी गौरव, ऑस्ट्रेलिया का पहला हिंदी समाचार पत्र, ग्लोबल मीडिया एजुकेशन काउंसिल GMAC. I welcome all my faculty members, other support staff and the students who have been working day and night to make this festival happen. I am grateful to the management of DME who have provided all possible help for creating this mega show. We are screening more than 400 films in 7 days. As many as 70 filmmakers and film scholars will enlighten the participants in more than 20 sessions. Participation is huge and we are overwhelmed. I urge all students and film lovers to join in different sessions and watch films. We are holding both the activities simultaneously, while on one platform, the screening of film will continue. On the another platform, the deliberations will keep on happening. You can have access to these platforms through the website of Ciffi 2021. Ciffi 2021 is a forum for enjoyment and learning. So be with us for a week for your lifetime experience. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening words and highlights about the Ciffi 2021 Film Festival. We have switched 2 screens to our website, ciffi.dme.ac.in. At screen 1, screening of all the shortlisted films will be played, and on the screen 2, the deliberations, the sessions, and the panel discussions, master classes, workshops, they will be going on simultaneously on our website screens. Ciffi 2021 is powered by SPARK, the Student Council of DME Media School. We have Journalism at DME, which is the official newsletter of DME Media School. This fortnightly publication covers all the major activities happening in and out the campus. It is a student-centric newsletter carried out entirely by them under the supervision of faculty members. I am pleased to introduce our festival director from School of Communication and Creative Arts, Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia, Dr. Vikrant Kishore. He is a filmmaker and an academy at Deakin University. At present, Dr. Kishore has been capturing stories of cultural flows and its impact on Indian diaspora in Australia. Dr. Kishore likes to integrate traditional cultural practices with new media technologies to archive, create digital exposition, collaborate on multimedia, exhibitions, and festivals. He has authored and edited books on Indian cinema, celebrity culture, and intangible cultural heritage. He has been a jury member of various film festivals. Dr. Kishore's area of research are Indian cinema, intangible cultural heritage, reality television programs, casteism, and discrimination. He is the member of the Regional Advisory Council of the Victorian Multicultural Commission. Requesting Dr. Kishore to address the gathering and share his thoughts on this conception of Ciffi 2021.
Thanks a lot, Manmeet. I hope I'm audible. All right, so firstly, a warm welcome to you all to the third edition of Ciffi, the Cineast Film Festival of India, a collaborative film festival organized by Delhi Metropolitan Education India and Deakin University, Australia. Before I start, I would like to recognize the various traditional lands where we are located and acknowledge the elders past, present, and emerging. I acknowledge the land, waterways, and airways of the Wurundjeri people and pay our respects to all the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people. I also acknowledge the struggles and the rights of Dalits and Indigenous people of India. So now we are in the third year of this fruitful collaborative partnership. The festival has grown phenomenally with many external partners and supporters. I would like to mention that getting a public listing on Film Freeway is another acknowledgement of the festival, and its growing esteem. This year, more than 3,000 films were received from more than 100 countries. Well, it is a huge jump from the 110 films last year that we received, and it demonstrates the goodwill that has been built around this festival, and I'm sure it will grow manifold. From Australia's side, this year our focus is on the stories of Australian Indians in Australian films, and the 7 specialist panel discussions will see Australian Indians sharing their thoughts on challenges and opportunities in Australian media. We also have a special panel which will be conducted by the newly formed Australia-India Film Council, which is being headed by filmmaker Anupam Sharma, and he is going to, another kind of a work which he is doing, and we'll share more information about it later. And this festival, this particular panels will be the first of its kind of intensive focus on Australian Indians and their engagement, even if it is in a limited way, with the media in Australia, be it ethnic media or mainstream media. I would like to thank Mr. Aman Sani, Professor Amrish Saxena, and Dr. Susmita Bala for their valuable partnership. I would also like to express my gratitude to all the staff members of DME, especially Manaswi Maheshwari, Mudita Raj, Sachin Nair, Sumantra Sarthi Das, Pramod Pandey, and others for tirelessly working for Ciffi. And last but not the least, a big congratulations to all the students of DME for putting such an incredible work. This festival belongs to you and is a true showcase of your work. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion. Happy to share about our esteemed member from our advisory board member, Ciffi 2021, Professor KG Suresh. He is the Vice Chancellor, Makhanlal Chaturvedi National University of Journalism and Communication, Bhopal. He is the former DG, Indian Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi, ex-jury member of National Film Awards and Indian Panorama, and ex-member FTII Governing Council and SRFTI Society, Kolkata. Sir is a New Delhi-based senior journalist, columnist, and communication specialist. He is a member of the Award Selection Committee of the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Department of Science and Technology. Requesting sir to please address the gathering.
Thank you. A very good morning to all of you, my dear friends, Ambrish, Sushmita ji. I also see my brother Ujwal. I see, friends from Deakin University and all other eminent fellow panelists. Actually, I am traveling, and this is one occasion when Ambrish ji said that you have to be there. I had no option. I cannot refuse being part of Ciffi. I've been fortunate to be part of Ciffi for the last so many editions. And Ciffi actually provides, a platform to youngsters to showcase their talent and to also get exposure to the best of world cinema. This is equally important. Filmmaking is perhaps the most impactful medium of mass communication. Films have influenced mindsets, brought about behavioral changes, brought about attitudinal changes. Films can play a very critical role, and films reflect the changing mindset of the society. I often say that, one could not have imagined, Indians making a huge success of films like Toilet. Imagine Toilet, Padman. These are hugely successful films. So these films have become successful because maybe they would not have been acceptable 5 years back or 10 years back. They would not have been acceptable. Today we are watching scientific movies, popular films. I'm not just talking about documentary and short films, even feature films based on Mars mission, a totally science based film, told in popular parlance. This is happening because the people are now ready. People are educated. People are much more enlightened. There is a general higher level of awareness in the society. It reflects the changing mindset of the people, the kind of films that come. So I think that films provide the best exposure. And secondly, as I said that, for a creative person, there cannot be a more fruitful medium than cinema. And that is why today, thanks to technology, the technological revolution that has taken place today, a lot of youngsters, even with the help of mobile films, mobile phones, they are able to make small but very effective films. I'm happy to see even partners like We Care who are here, who make really very sensitive films on disability issues. I think that, that we need to bring about more sensitivity towards these issues, disability, gender. These are issues which need to be talked about among the younger generation. And I'm glad you can organize something once, but that consistency, even during the COVID period, of having online cinema, film festival, and also maintaining that consistency is something admirable. That is why Ciffi has become the talk of the town in academic circles, and it continues to attract a lot of attention, a lot of traction. My best compliments. I'm really privileged to be part of this advisory committee, and I'm sure that this festival is going to really bring about an attitudinal change among the students also, with regard to the power of cinema and the power of storytelling, which is the future of media. How effectively can we tell a story? I think that to that extent, my compliments to Team DME and Deakin University and all other partners. Honored to be part of this. Thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your never-ending support, cooperation, and motivation. We hope to have long association in the coming years ahead. We have with us today Professor Ujwal Chaudhary, member from our advisory board, Ciffi 2021. Professor Ujwal Chaudhary is the former Pro Vice Chancellor, Branding International Relations, Corporate Relations from Adamas University, Kolkata. He has wide experience in media communication and associated with Business India Group, Z Group, Observer Group, Blitz, and to name a few. Professor Chaudhary comes with years of academic and professional experience, and he has worked with various prestigious organizations in different capacities. He is the Secretary of Global Media Education Council, also a partner of Ciffi 2021, where 75 stalwarts, 75 countries, 75 speakers will meet and exchange thoughts for 75 evenings in an intellectual manner. Welcome you, sir. I request Professor Chaudhary to please address the gathering.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. And I really congratulate all of you for organizing third time in a row this program, which has already created waves and is being listed in the best of film festivals directory and portals. as you can find, and Dr. Vikrant Kishore has also mentioned. I will only focus on one thing. Competition is a 20th century word. Today, it's a dirty word. Today's mantra is collaboration. And Ciffi, the festival, actually embraces collaboration in the true sense. There is a collaboration which Dr. Bala has said at the beginning, two institutions from two continents of the world, surely two countries as well, collaborating to make this a success for the third year, DME and Deakin. There is a collaboration as far as the platform is concerned. You have a few, maybe 100 youngsters there and 100 scholars there physically present, and we another maybe 100 or 120 depending on how many. It's almost 150 on Zoom, and there could be many more on YouTube who are watching it. So it's a collaboration of the platform, the hybrid mode. Then it's a collaboration of various technologies in producing video storytelling. Today, we are moving towards a media convergence. We know the online, that's the social media and the internet, the offline, that's the newspaper and all other things, the on-air, radio and television, on ground events like this, and on mobile. All the five are collaborating. So video storytelling is in a collaborative mode as far as technology is concerned. Then the festival itself is a collaboration of partners. Partners from media, I can see Policy Times, partners from organizations that produce and celebrate filmmaking like We Care Films, partners of academicians around the world like the organization of which I am the Secretary, Global Media Education Council, and our president has just now spoken, Professor Suresh. So there is a collaboration there as well with partners. Then there is a collaboration of scholars of film studies with filmmakers, actual filmmakers, administrators of DME management, mentors, and above all, the learners and their organization Spark. All together, various stakeholders coming together, and you see a lovely collaboration. Even in the field of filmmaking, the collaborative approach has led to a completely different scenario and definition of cinema or film today. From 10 seconds film in online, as you know, the films online are 8 to 15 seconds in most cases. When you actually log in on any site in YouTube or anywhere else, there's a film of 5, 10, 15 seconds at the beginning. So from 5, 10 seconds to a maximum of 3 hours, variegated films are coming, and not just for entertainment, from entertainment to ecology protection to healthcare. The video storytelling is becoming the in thing of all forms, even in administration and governance. It's the video that's carrying the message. And there's a huge collaboration that's happening from entertainment to medical fraternity and to the scientist fraternity in the domain of filmmaking. So what I wanted to say through all these forms of collaboration is that make competition a dirty word and collaboration your life mantra. There is no competition with others. If you at all have to compete with your yesterday for a better tomorrow and compete with no one else. Collaborate, and create bigger happiness. Ciffi is a proof of that. Thank you, and back to you, the anchor.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening words. It is a proud moment for me to mention here that Ciffi 2021 has received the submission of 3,130 films from 111 countries. Ciffi 2021 brings 21 sessions with 70 experts through 11 panel discussions, 2 curated sessions, 2 masterclasses, 2 workshops, special sessions, and special segments. Professor Dr. Ravikant Swami, Director DME, has joined us for this inaugural ceremony. Now, I request sir to share his thoughts with the attendees.
So it's a great day today that the third edition of Ciffi is being inaugurated. I congratulate the Media School of Delhi Metropolitan Education, especially the leaders of the school, Professor Ambrish Saxena, Dr. Sushmita Bala, for creating this asset. In finance, we call it an asset. So it's really a a tangible or intangible, I don't know what to call it, but it's a great asset which has got a lot of value, not only for DME, but also for the outside world. And when I say outside world, the value of Ciffi is being enumerated by the number of partners which are joining with every new edition. So congratulations to the DME Media School and to all the partners. Well, as far as Ciffi is concerned, it has got certain features which are unique in itself. One, I don't think that educational institutions organize such kind of festivals. So it is something like which seems like a part of Bollywood or something like that. So that is a unique feature. Then adaptation is another thing, because Ciffi first edition was offline, second edition was completely online, third edition is hybrid. So the way things have been adapted, this what we call resilience is a great characteristic of Ciffi. Another important part is the student participation, the role given to the students, rather I must say the leadership roles given to the students, which is something which students may not find even in, I don't know, NSD or FTII or Whistling Woods, they may not find such leadership roles being given to them. I thank all the partners and I congratulate the DME Media School. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us today. We have with us today Mr. Anupam Sharma, esteemed member from Australia, director and producer, film and casting, Temple, Sydney. Mr. Anupam Sharma is an Australian filmmaker, actor, producer, and author of Indian origin. He has been named as one of the 50 most powerful and influential Australian film professionals by Encore magazine. Mr. Anupam is the founding head of Films and Casting Temple, one of the most prolific and award-winning international production and consultancy firm based out of Fox Studios, Sydney. With a high school social media following, Mr. Anupam is a respected commentator and frequent speaker at various conferences and on television programs including ABC, 9 Network, SBS TV, Spa, Art Gallery, NSW, and the Powerhouse Museum. Mr. Sharma was honored to be an Australian Day ambassador and was one of the 13th young professionals shortlisted in the prestigious Face to Watch series by Sydney Magazine. We welcome you, sir, and I request Mr. Sharma to please address the gathering.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate being invited here. Thanks to Dr. Vikrant Kishore. It was good to hear you, Professor Ujwal, with Ciffi, with DME, with Deakin, because you guys delivered the Australian Film Festival for us. I'm particularly excited this year, thanks to Dr. Kishore, that we are going to be launching the first webinar as a part of Australia-India Film Council Dosti series, which is being supported, through a lovely, encouraging statement by Prime Minister Morrison. And like previous years, as other speakers have said today, collaboration is the key. Internationalization, globalization of cinema is the key, particularly post-COVID, with the streamers gaining importance. I look forward to assisting all these important work which is being done by Deakin, by the Media Institute, by Vikrant. Good to see so many people attending. I can see our dear friend Anuj there, Kulshrestha. I can see other friends. And it's delight that, so many people from both sides are engaging in meaningful conversations. And congratulations once again, and a big thank you for making me a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Anupam, sir, for sharing your thoughts. We have with us today Dr. Martin Potter. Martin Potter is a producer and director of internationally acclaimed participatory media projects, including Big Stories, Small Town, Community Champion, and the White Building Media and Arts Program in Phantom Fen White Building ORG. He has worked across the Indo-Pacific on media for development programs, and since 2006, he has received more than 7 million in competitive grant funding for his work. He currently researches and lectures in Screen and Design, Deakin University, a board member of Engage Media, associate investigator at the Australian Research Council Centre of Excellence for Biodiversity and Heritage, and also a member of the Alfred Deakin Institute for Citizenship and Globalization at Deakin University. I request Dr. Potter to please address the gathering.
Howdy. Can you all hear me? Yeah, good. Thank you so much for having me along. I'd also like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land where I am today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I'd like to thank Vikrant Kishore for bringing me into this, and to also follow in his steps, acknowledge the rights and struggles of the Dalit people in India, and to thank Vikrant for, I suppose, providing a lot of activism, advocacy and education on these issues. I've certainly learned a lot from him about that. Professor Chaudhary, I believe, talked before about cooperation, and it reminded me of the historian Rutger Bregman, who says in his recent book that our true human nature is to be kind and caring and cooperative. It's a secret superpower of human beings, to be friendly and to have this ability to cooperate. I think in film, we see that cooperative spirit manifest. Film is all about the power of human beings collectively expressing themselves in a singular story. And when we go to the cinema and we get to enjoy those stories together, it's an incredibly transformative art form. It's so collaborative, so cooperative, and it just is a lovely reminder that individually we might not be able to achieve much, but the strength of human beings only really comes out on a big cooperative scale. And I think, Ciffi has been testament to that, to see it grow over the years to such scale, to such extraordinary scale this year, is really been quite a wonder to bear witness to. So thank you for inviting me back again. It's really lovely to see this continue and to continue to grow. I'll hand back to you and say thank you again for having me along. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Martin. It is a proud moment for Ciffi 2021 that this year we have partnered with a prominent media house from Sydney, Australia. Mr. Anuj Kulshrestha has joined our inaugural ceremony from Sydney, and I, on behalf of DME Media School, we welcome you, sir, for this inaugural function of the film festival. Mr. Anuj is a successful media and entrepreneur based in Sydney, Australia. He runs the Hindi newspaper, Hindi Gaurav, one of the oldest Hindi newspapers in Australia. He has been honored at NSW Parliament in 2010 for promoting Hindi. He has been acknowledged for his contributions to the Indian community in Australia by world's biggest NRI organization, GOPIO and UIA. His community work has been recognized by Prime Minister of Australia and premiers of NSW. I request Mr. Anuj to please address the gathering.
Thank you. Films and movies are only way we can make a world united again. First of all, I, Anuj Kulshrestha from Hindi Gaurav, would like to congratulate Sydney State International Film Festival for organizing such a great platform where we all can come together and share our story with the whole world. Thanks Vikrant Bhai and Mr. Ambrish Saxena, Dean of DME. It is really an honor and a great platform for Australian Indian media to show the world their talent. Without taking your much time, I would like to congratulate all of you for doing such an inspiring event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anuj sir, and we are hopeful that our association will be fruitful in the coming years ahead. It is an honor that our esteemed guest from University of Newcastle, Australia has joined us today. I am feeling happy to introduce Professor Phillip Mcintyre. He is an Australian communication and media scholar who researches creativity and the creative industries using a systems-based approach. His most recent ARC linkage project was a nationwide venture identifying and explaining regional creative hotspots. Professor Mcintyre has published a number of books on creative systems across all creative industries, including chapters on film, and he is the group leader of the Future Work Research Group in the FastLab Research Center at the University of Newcastle. His keynote address of 2016 Sidelines Conference was entitled as Rethinking Filmmaking as Research, Applying the Scholarly Research into Creativity. Requesting Sir to please address the gathering.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. I also too want to acknowledge the lands of the Hambalong clan and the Awabakal nation that I'm on at the moment, and pay my respects to elders past and present. I also want to pay my respects to all of the dignitaries and esteemed colleagues that are here at this particular festival, as well as the partners. But I also want to point out particularly the staff and students of DME and the wonderful work that they've done in their association with this festival as well. I also want to thank particularly Dr. Vikrant Kishore for involving me over a long period of time in a number of his projects. And we've collaborated together on quite a few as well, and a number in the future. One of those is on cross-cultural creativity. My work has looked at creativity and innovation in terms of what individuals do, scaled that up to what groups do, to what organizations do, what institutions do. And that last study that was mentioned in the introduction was a national study for the Australian Research Council right across the country, looking at basically what was happening culturally in the regions and why some regions were successful and others weren't. I think where Vikrant and I are heading now in terms of our research is looking at cross-cultural creativity. Is the work that I've been conducting here in Australia, what has occurred certainly in that Eurocentric world and the North Atlantic world, is it applicable right around the globe? I believe that it is, but of course we need empirical evidence to understand what's going on there. Those creative industries, at least according to Davies and Thigthorpe, are certainly in the business of business. But that business in many ways is reliant on creative expression. And part of that expression is linked, as it can only be, to the cultures that we actually exist in. And we are expressing not only our individual ideas, but collectively, we're also expressing a lot of the cultural ideas that we exist in. Part of the work that Vikrant and I are becoming engaged in is, does that cultural work rest on a different set of premises for each culture? And is that carried around the world in terms of cultural flows? Certainly Vikrant's work with Arjun Appadurai and those forms of cultural flows is an important indicator of this as well. Do those things mix and mingle as we suspect they do? And you can see that, I think, in terms of the Australian-Indian film relationship, particularly what's going on in here in Australia. I don't think there's as much of that cooperation and collaboration going on as there possibly could be. And I think part of Vikrant's work is to actually generate that as well. And I notice Anupam is here as well in order to actually generate those things as well. So given the recent interest in Australia, and we're hoping that's being reciprocated from India, in an increase in trade relationships, and I think that has something to do with, well, it has a lot to do actually with the political environment that we find ourselves in our relationship with other major trading partners, and I won't go too far into that, and the political fallout from those relationships as well. I think there is a desire, certainly on the part of the Australian government and certainly on the part of the Indian government, to actually increase those trade relationships. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that those relationships are premised solely on politics or premised solely on economics. I think they are premised far more on our cultural understanding of each other. And perhaps we could, in many ways, through festivals like this, increase that cultural understanding. One of the keynote speakers before, one of your guests, was saying that ideas are carried through film, and increasingly the case in all sorts of ways in those variegated approaches that we will see in this film festival here as well. And if that's the case, then we need to start to understand how we go about bringing novel things into being and how we value those as well. And I think one of the fundamental things about film festivals like this, it gives us an opportunity form of leverage to actually start to open those doors and to understand not so much our differences, but our common humanity. And I think that's the crucial thing. So welcome everybody. I'm extremely grateful and humbled that Vikrant has actually asked me to come on board in this festival. And I'll be speaking on a panel a little bit later in the week with him as well. And as I said before, I'm very humbled by being part of this particular gathering. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sparing the time and joined us today. I think it is the time to feel nostalgic and relive the moments from the conception till execution of Ciffi 2021.
By now, you know it's time for Ciffi 2021, a festival for the film buffs all around the world. A place for all the filmmakers, film enthusiasts, film appreciators, and the binge watchers. Let's hear from the Dean and Head of DME Media School more about what you're going to expect from Ciffi 2021.
So finally, Ciffi 2021, the third edition of this International Film Festival of India is here. We are ready to hold the festival for a week. This time we received more than 3,000 films and we are having a screening continuously for 7 days. There are more than 15 sessions like masterclasses, workshops and panel discussions. Lot of fun and fair, number of sessions in the physical space and other sessions in the online space. So there will be a big extravaganza this time, better than the last year. So please come and join us and enjoy this festival.
हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट में फिल्म फेस्टिवल हो रहा है और फिल्म फेस्टिवल ऐसा जिसमें देश विदेश की फिल्में आई हैं और बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है। और पता है कौन कर रहा है? स्टूडेंट्स कर रहे हैं। सारा अरेंजमेंट स्टूडेंट का है। स्क्रीनिंग में स्टूडेंट पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, ज्यूरी के साथ हेल्प कर रहे हैं और ये केवल और केवल डीएमई मीडिया स्कूल में हो रहा है। सारे स्टूडेंट पढ़ाई तो करवाते हैं, फिल्म पढ़ाते हैं, फिल्म बनवाते हैं, लेकिन हम फिल्म इंस्टीट्यूट की तरह फिल्में स्क्रीनिंग करते हैं, फिल्म फेस्टिवल करते हैं और एंजॉय करते हैं।
Do you know what goes behind the glamorous festival you see on screen? Let's hear it from the students. What's their experience of Ciffi 2021?
Hi, I'm Nana from Screening Team.
Hi, I am Muskan Baveja.
Hi, I'm Kalidas Srinivas from the Screening Team. So working for Ciffi was an incredible experience.
Screening and documentation process of Ciffi 2021 has been a massive and collective effort. We have seen more than 3,000 films across the countries, ideas, cultures and filmmakers.
Screening process comprised of 2 stages. First stage included teachers and students who reviewed all the movies. Second stage was that the films were judged by our esteemed jury members.
And when we were reviewing films, we came across various cultures that were never explored in the mainstream platform, and we came across certain strong ideation which left us with thoughtful remarks.
Across the 7-day film festival, we have
filmmakers,
actors,
academics,
technicians,
film enthusiasts,
and anyone who loves cinema.
And we from the social media team will give you timely updates about this 7-day film extravaganza. But you may wonder, how many updates can a film festival even have?
And that's where you got it wrong. We'll have panel discussions, masterclasses and so much more. It's not only about seeing films, it's about engaging with different art forms of films.
Our jury screening का first day, the plan is in motion. 1st December. Oh, यहाँ पे Dr. Amrish Saxena और Dr. Manmeet Kaur. Let's ask them what's happening at Ciffi. Sir, ma'am, hi. Will you tell our viewers कि आज Ciffi में चल क्या रहा है?
सिटी में बहुत कुछ चल रहा है। आज तो हमने ज्यूरी शुरू की है। 4 दिन तक ये ज्यूरी है, तो जितनी भी फिल्में आई हैं जो टीचर्स ने, स्टूडेंट्स ने, तुम लोगों ने मिल के जो शॉर्ट लिस्टेड की है, रिव्यू की है, उनको फाइनल उनका व्यूइंग हो रही है, सो दैट वी कैन डिसाइड कि किसने कैसी कैसी फिल्में आई हैं, विच आर द प्राइज विनिंग फिल्म्स।
So, ma'am, Ciffi is very close. How are you feeling? You are handling it.
It's a wonderful feeling as usual. Third edition of Ciffi. और सबसे अच्छी चीज़ इस बार ये है कि इस बार हमने 3000 से ज़्यादा मूवीज़ को रिसीव किया है एंड अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड. मुझे लगता है कि शायद अगर मैं एग्जैक्ट नंबर इस टाइम नहीं बता पा रही हूँ, फिर भी हमारे पास 100 से ऊपर कंट्रीज़ ने पार्टिसिपेट किया है दिस टाइम Ciffi 2021.
That's amazing. Ciffi is happening. Ciffi 2021.
So it's always a pleasure to be a part of an event at DME, and this time around I am one of the jury members for this ongoing festival.
Hi, I'm Supriya and I'm one of the jury members for Ciffi this year, organized by DME, and I'm thrilled to come across so many films as a jury member.
So this is the second time I've been invited to be a member of the jury for Ciffi.
Ciffi is growing every year, and I'm observing Ciffi from last 3 years as jury member.
And I'm so glad that this year they've received about 3,000 entries, so it was quite a lot for us. But nevertheless, I'm surprised by the kind of short films that we have seen as jury members.
So many interesting categories, so it's always fun to go through so many different kinds of films from all across the globe. We have fiction, non-fiction, short films, ad films, COVID-19 diaries, we have animes, and so a lot of work that is keeping us busy, and I'm also amazed by the kind of quality on offer.
So it's been a rich harvest, and it's good that post-COVID we're getting some wonderful films to see, and from all over the world.
I've seen filmmakers experimenting with genres and science fiction coming up in 5 minutes category, so that was pretty amazing.
And as always, the students and staff are working very closely with us. We are on a very, very tight schedule because there are hours and hours of movies that need to be watched. So as always, very excited.
What a wonderful conception, what a wonderful production. I must thank to the production team of Ciffi 2021, comprising of Mr. Sumantra Sarthidas, Assistant Professor at DME Media School, Mr. Yogesh Sharma, Assistant Professor at DME Media School, Mr. Sachin Nair, Assistant Professor at DME Media School, and Mr. Vishal Sahai, Assistant Professor at DME Media School. They all have done a wonderful job by producing this video. I must say the memories of Ciffi 2019 and Ciffi 2020 are still alive in my mind, in my heart. And of course, when in the coming months, in the coming times, we will see this video, we will definitely feel nostalgic. Thank you so much. We are honored to have the gracious presence of our another esteemed member from the advisory board, Dr. Gauri Chakravarti. She is professor at Bennett University, a graduate from Asia's premier institution, Film and Television Institute of India, Pune, and has been the part of the audio-video industry since 1995. She is a practicing filmmaker, academician, and artist, former head of Amity School of Communication in Noida, and has been a media educator for the last 15 years. She believes in creating intersecting spaces which overlap research with reception. She was the festival director for the 15th edition of the IAWRT Asian Women's Film Festival in 2019. We are honored to have you here, ma'am. I request you to please address the gathering.
Thank you so much, Manmeet, and a good morning and namaskar to all the dignitaries from DME, Deakin University, esteemed leaders, faculty members, and the very valuable and worthy students who I can see are also in the hybrid mode sitting in the studio. I'd love to be there on that bench with you for this very exciting event. And I would start by acknowledging Dr. Amrish Saxena, Dr. Sushmita Bala, and Dr. Vikrant Kishore, and the teams from DME and Deakin University. Film festivals need elaborate and meticulous planning. And 3,000 films from 111 countries is just not a number, because I can imagine the efforts that have gone behind in segregating, in creating categories, in funneling ideas into panels, curations and screenings. So heartfelt, and lot of compliments to the team. It's interesting, like Professor Ujwal Chaudhary mentioned, about collaborations and further guests consolidating that idea. Film festivals technically are these great collaborations of, of intellectuals, of learners, of people who get engrossed and involved with the way film communicates ideas. Film remains to be a chronicle of life. It is an expression. And one of the most unique attributes of watching a film is that it satisfies the basic need of storytelling, which is so critical to the humankind. I think it also, you can explore ways as young students, for storytelling to highlight issues of concern. And film festivals and being a part of it can also be inspiring to create narratives of your own in the future. I also feel, being a professional in the film domain, that I've been blessed because I am a world citizen. My view on life is far wider and more accommodating than many other people I may have met from other professions. A critical part of the film festival also is to discuss film as as this world citizen, as content in form, to differentiate between idea and technique, and also to acknowledge the classic and discuss the contemporary. And a lot of the esteemed guests have also talked about video storytelling, smartphone filmmaking, and I think that is a new space that has entered into our conversation. And I'd be really looking forward to the content of the film festival, Ciffi 2021. And must finish by saying that festivals are there in the present, but in the future, they become repositories and documents of the time that has gone past. Small little nuances of life, of voice, remain in those repositories, and that is also the charm of moving forward year by year. Like in Hindi, they say parat dar parat, kisi cheez ko se ulajhna, kisi cheez ko explain karna. So I really hope that that experience happens again this year, and must share that this year I've decided to bring along a panel on sound, on the aesthetics and technology of sound recording, because that is a space I think will be really interesting for young film aspirants to attend. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And I really look forward to the festival. And for all of you out there, young students, enjoy the festival. Thank you.
Well said, that we actually need to document various things so that our coming generations can study, can learn during these pandemic times how these film festivals are going through. Last year, we had various hybrid film festivals, various online film festivals. And at DME, this is our effort to get this film festival in a hybrid mode this time. So we are also looking forward to our esteemed panelists, our masterclass experts, our session experts for various intense sessions in the coming 7 days of Ciffi 2021. So our esteemed guests, our esteemed panelists, members from the advisory board, members from Australia have shared their insights and thoughts about the film festival. And I think this is the right time to listen from our festival director and Dean from DME Media School, Professor Dr. Amrish Saxena. I request you, sir, to please address the gathering.
Thank you, Manmeet. So now a lot has been said and understood about Ciffi, the third edition of 2021. So obviously nostalgia is something which is bound to be there, though this is the third edition, but the way the festival has grown, only those people can experience who have been there right from the beginning. When I joined DME in 2018, so that time I had a thought that we should organize this kind of festival. But then initially we thought that, and the management, the vice chairman, Mr. Aman Sani, has also said that once we should put the studio in place and then we should think of organizing a film festival, because we have to have that kind of infrastructure, we have to have that kind of a space wherein we can do something. So we got this studio built in 4 to 6 months time. And immediately we planned the first Cineasta International Film Festival, which happened in April 2019. So it was a 4-day festival. Obviously, it was in the physical space because that time it was unthinkable that something can happen on online mode. So that in itself was a very big thing, because we conducted the sessions at different venues. We were using the auditorium, we were using this space, Studio 62, and other classrooms, and there were simultaneous sessions happening. Because when we are organizing something in the physical space, that's a possibility that more than one venue can be explored. But one handicap is there in the online mode, that you cannot have more than one session at different places. But last year, when this corona happened, we decided not to drop the film festival, as the same we decided with regard to the International Research Conference ICANN. That also we have been continuing since 2018. So we decided to hold it, but then we have to keep on shifting the dates, thinking that the things will normalize. But when there was a fag end of 2020, then we had to take a call that we have to do it. Otherwise, we would have missed 2020. So we organized this in the month of December, incidentally, the same dates from 15 to 21st of December. And then another thing which was in a way obstruction in our efforts, that admissions got delayed last year also, this year also, but last year they were further delayed. So we wanted the first year to be there, but then they joined right at the last moment. This year, at least 20-25 days ago, the batch started. So for the new batch, this is the first experience of its kind. But then the examination problem was there. Again, the examinations are going to start from the next week for the second year and the third year. That also came in between. So firstly, we extended the date, then we preponed the dates. So all this continued to happen. So, but then ultimately it's here. Another problem that we have been facing for the last 2 years, that we were not getting enough number of films. So maybe because we were very new in this space of organizing film festivals. Also that we were not able to get the public listing in Film Freeway. So after consistent efforts, we succeeded this time. We got the public listing in Film Freeway. And then also we decided to make use of that opportunity, that public listing, that we decided not to charge any entry fee. So that also helped us, and we were, I mean, the films were pouring in like anything every day, and every day we were meeting. I was meeting with the faculty members, was taking a stock whether we should continue this or we should put a stop to this, because it was not an easy task to watch this number of films, shortlist them, and having the jury and all. But somehow, with the help of the students, it all became possible. Because as Professor Bala has also said this,
about the festival, but it's true with everything that we do in DME Media School. For us, in any activity that we do or we think of, students are always in the forefront, because ultimately an educational institution is for students only. And if their learning is happening, and in media studies, nothing can be more important than something being done hands-on. So the number of students of the second year and third year who were part of the screening team or the documentation team, or I mean, so many other compartments are there. So everybody had been contributing, is contributing in a big way. So all this shortlisting was handled by the students only, which continued for more than 2 months. Thereafter, we called the jury, the 4-member jury, and that also we had to divide into 2, because four people sitting to watch 45 hours films, what not feasible that way. So we divided the jury also in 2 parts. There were 7 categories of films. They were also divided into 2 parts, so that it all could become possible, and all this award-winning film that judgment happened. So online space has its own importance, and we try to experiment with the hybrid. When we say hybrid, normally it's very difficult to define how, I mean, what all will be included as part of the hybrid, but with the help of a very strong production team in DME, we could do that, wherein everybody can experience. We are at different spaces, at different places. We are in the studio, we are at different locations, and that is how we are. And within the studio, the kind of arrangement that we have done, this is for us also, this is for the first time, and I'm sure of this, that nobody would have done this, at least in this country, this kind of experiment. So all kind of experimentations have been happening since the beginning, right from beginning, which has been talked about already, the collaboration of 2 different institutions, 2 different continents. So all that happened, but we have grown to a space now, and in terms of partners also, and we are fortunate in that sense that within 3 years we have been able to do that. There are people, there are organizations who themselves offer us to collaborate with us. So we have created that kind of brand in the name of Ciffi, wherein people are ready to join. And since when somebody is coming to join us, obviously with that person, the experience comes, the cloud comes, the space that person carries, that is there to our help. But then there's another thing to this. I mean, how to put the things in a proper manner. So last year we made this festival to 7 days. This year also we are continuing doing that. Because besides the film screening during the festival, the other important aspect is deliberations on different aspects of films. So that requires time. And this year also we were thinking not to expand that too much, because handling for 7 days from morning till evening is not an easy thing, not only for the organizers, for receivers also, for students also, because everybody has a limited stamina and appetite. But then this year also it happened, people came along, they joined hands, and we are having 19 panel discussions, workshops, master classes, curate sessions, and all. So again, the hands are full for 7 days, but then we decided to consolidate instead of further expanding. We could easily expand it to 10 days as we do. We have already done in the case of the ICANN, the media conference that we hold every year for 10 days. So that in itself is a different kind of experience or experiment that has been done, wherein we have been holding 10-day long media conference consecutively again last year in 2020 also, and in 2021 also. And then 2022, we are already planning to have it in the month of April. So all these things have happened, but all these things would not have been possible with the support of few people. Most of them have already appeared on the screen here. They are always by our side, whatever we do, and that's a big support. And as far as the Ciffi is concerned, the greatest support is from Deakin University and by Dr. Vikrant Kishore, who himself is a filmmaker and who has worked a lot as an independent filmmaker before turning to a full-time media teacher in Deakin University. So he is there, and then obviously with him, all those people who are involved into filmmaking in Australia. And what has happened during the past 1 year? Earlier also in Australia, there is a sizable Indian population who has been involved in filmmaking. But then there is an spurt in filmmaking in Australia for the last 1.5 years. And a lot of new contents are being generated there, as in other parts of the world. In India also, we find the way the OTT has grown, and the way the different kind of content, different kind of genres are being found on OTT. Similarly, the same is happening in Australia. So Dr. Vikrant Kishore had this idea that we must explore this, the Indian content which is being produced in Australia, the Indians who are involved in those projects, and the Australians who are involved in those projects, and their media. So all that has been done. So number of sessions, like 7 sessions are there, which are coming from Deakin University, and wherein all Australian filmmakers, scholars, and the students have been involved. And I want to, and I mean, as far as the number is concerned, that has already been told, but I must tell you this, that out of more than 3,000 films, we are screening more than 400 films, but language-wise, I have tried to explore as to how many films in how many languages we have received. So we have received films in more than 40 languages. And I was astonished to find that there are more than 100 films in Arabic. So even these kind of astonishing things, we normally do not understand when we say films. And anybody who has a limited view about the films understand that whatever is being made in Bollywood is the real film. But in India also, there's so much variety which has further been explored during this Corona period. We are finding the web series which are in so many languages. Earlier, there used to be the practice of dubbing a film, once a film, or the remake of the film. But nowadays, when the film is being planned or a web series is being planned, that time also the producer decides that he or she will be producing it in 4 languages or 5 languages or 6 languages. That's again a very strange thing. And as I was telling you about the films which we received, there are so many languages wherein we received 40 films, 50 films, and like this. And as far as Indian languages is concerned, there are 10 films in 10 languages, which is there. Now, talking about I would like to make a mention of few people, certainly, particularly Dr. Simon Wilmot, who has been associated with us from Deakin University right from the beginning. Then Sean Redmond, he has been there for the last 3 years. Somehow he has not been able to join today because of his health issues. Even Mr. Anupam Sharma has been associated with us right from the beginning. And this also must be told to everybody that when we are doing Ciffi in 2019, the first edition, that time also we conducted an online session. Though there was no Corona, no online concept that time, and we were doing it in the physical space. But then somehow the people from Australia were not able to come to India to join the festival. So we decided to have a panel discussion, which was live in this studio itself. So Mr. Anupam Sharma was part of that panel. And then Mr. Aditya Seth, he has also been there for the last 3 editions. This time also he is conducting a workshop for us. He is a prominent filmmaker, and he's produced so many award-winning documentaries. One name which I would like to make a mention is Mr. Praveen Nagda, who has the distinction of organizing 2 international film festivals. One is Kids Cinema, which he started in 2020. And then another film festival that he started today is Culture Cinema, which was a very unique festival. And it happened at a, during the second wave. We planned it at a time when second wave struck, but still it was postponed, but it was not abandoned. It happened with the representation of so many countries from the globe. And he's kind enough to conduct a session for us. Last year also he conducted a session, and this year also he is conducting a session on children's cinema. Then there's, two people from New Delhi Film Foundation, Mr. Ashish Singh and Mr. Amitabh Srivastav. They have also been kind enough to organize some very exclusive sessions for us. Last year also they did, and this year with their help, we are organizing a special session on Dilip Kumar. So that is one important session, and there's one filmmaker, Gurvinder Singh, one session is being organized with him with the support of these two people. So this is all about the people who have been associated with us and the sessions and all. Also, yeah, I must tell you, one session is also happening on Shyam Benegal. So these are the two people. I mean, if you talk about an actor, there has been no, no dominant actor better than Dilip Kumar, and then Shyam Benegal. To the first year students only, perhaps I was telling them that if they want to understand India, anything about India, then they must watch Bharat Ek Khoj, which was the first serial of its kind telecast on Doordarshan, and Shyam Benegal was the brain behind. So Shyam Benegal is a very seasoned, very celebrated, and in fact, he is considered the father of parallel cinema in India. So a very special session on Shyam Benegal has been planned, which will be taken by Dr. Vivek Sachdeva, who is a professor in Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University. So that is how we have planned this festival. I'm very pretty sure that next 7 days will be very hectic, but then if learning is happening despite this hectic schedule, so nothing can be more contentful than that. And I hope that all film lovers, the film scholars, filmmakers, and students, particularly the students of DME Media School, they will be wholeheartedly part of this whole festival, as they are today in the inaugural function in the studio and on the Zoom platform. So I call upon everybody to be with us for next 7 days and make Ciffi 2021 a memorable exercise to everybody. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Such a detailed address regarding the film festival, and gratitude. Once again, my gratitude to all our festival partners, our members from the advisory board, members from Australia, Deakin University, and University of Newcastle. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Moving further, I would like to call Mr. Amitabh Srivastav, a senior journalist with an experience of more than 3 decades in print, electronic, and digital media, formerly associated with news channels like Aaj Tak, India TV as executive editor, a passionate cinephile, and president of New Delhi Film Foundation. I must say, few relations are actually like a memory in everyone's heart, and this is how I call my relation, DME's relation with New Delhi Film Foundation. Whenever we have approached Mr. Srivastav and Mr. Ashish K Singh, as Dr. Saxena has already mentioned this in his address, that they are always ready to support, to coordinate, to cooperate for us, for our students. They are available for various deliberations and sessions. And of course, for the Cine Treasures, the official film society of DME, they have actually organized a session through which we have screened a movie, Bhuvan Shome, for our students. So I would like to request Mr. Srivastav to please address the gathering.
Thank you, Manmeet. Thank you for this special mention, and thank you, Dr. Saxena, Amrish ji, and thank you his entire team, Dr. Sushmita Bala, Vikrant ji, for having us, as partners, as guests to talk to the cinema lovers. Actually, I cherish the special relationship with the DME and the Ciffi, and I congratulate the organizers for this continuation of third film festival. As we all know, cinema has a very unique way of affecting our lives. It can, it can affect us, it can provoke us, it can transform us, and it has the power of, sensitizing us to become better human beings and to learn living harmoniously in a heterogeneous society, and the importance of human values, and especially Hindi films with their songs. They can teach us, things like that. Insan ka insan se ho bhaichara, yahi paigam hamara. This again, Dr. Saxena was mentioning Dilip Kumar. This is a song from Dilip Kumar's film Paigam, and we all know that this particular line has been, picked up by politicians, and that it has been used, to carry forward their message to the voters. So the importance of cinema is very well known to all of us, and I congratulate the team, the entire team that has been organizing this festival so successfully. And I look forward to being a participant in all the sessions that I'm invited. Thank you very much. Congratulations once again. And thank you once again for inviting us.
Thank you, Mr. Srivastav. I'm honored to introduce our member from our festival partner, Mr. Aditya Seth. He is an award-winning independent short and documentary filmmaker with a knowledge in theater and music, and has been involved in making of short films, documentaries, and TV programs in all genres for national and international audiences. He is also academic consultant for the University of South Wales in Cardiff, Wales, UK, and the founder of Indian Academy of Shorts. Mr. Aditya is the founder member of Vikalp Films for Freedom and was the treasurer of the Indian Documentary Producers Association for consecutive 4 years. His critically acclaimed documentaries include Bahadur, The Accidental Brave, a documentary on Nepalese labor migration to Mumbai and HIV, Youth and Future, The Indian Spectrum, Ek Paristhiti, Child Labor Problem in India for Doordarshan, Learning to Live, a documentary on life skills, education for UNICEF, Paritap, the first ever 30-minute documentary on the sexual abuse of children in India. So I request Mr. Sage to please address the gathering.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be part of Ciffi. I think I've been a part of Ciffi since its inception. And it's amazing to see the way it's grown. All thanks to the efforts of the management, Mr. Saxena, Professor Saxena, Dr. Bala, and the rest of the management at DME. So it's really, really good to know that you have more than 3,000 entries and from 110 countries. It's amazing. I mean, and it's really good to be associated. I'm happy that both my academy as well as the IDP, of which I'm the president, have the privilege to be a part of this today as it grows. And I'm very happy that students will get to watch a lot of films from across the world, because I think filmmaking really is learned by observation more than anything else. And this is a great opportunity for students to watch films, analyze them, discuss them, learn from observation, learn from films, learn from cinema across the world as to what's going on, and contemporarize their own ideas and thoughts, and probably turn them into script films eventually. I'm also going to be conducting a workshop on the 20th evening, so I'm looking forward to that for budding filmmakers. And I'm looking forward to coming to doing something offline, because we've just been online for more than 1.5 years now. So that'll be a great thing again, to just interact with people face to face, rather than doing it through a computer like we're doing it right now. So thank you so much once again for the opportunity, and I'm happy and privileged to be part of Ciffi, and all the very best to all the participants and to all the people on the board and the management for a great festival ahead. And I hope to be part of this, and my continued support and collaboration will always be there with Ciffi. So thank you so much, and all the very best yet again. And whenever I'm needed, wherever I'm needed for Ciffi, I'm always there. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, sir. Thank you so much. And we are hopeful that our association will be fruitful in the coming years ahead as well. So now I request Mr. Satish Kapoor, founder director of We Care Film Festival, exhibiting films on disability. And he is also the founder director of Brotherhood and We Care Film Festivals, promoting inclusion of children with disability into the media industry. So requesting sir to please address the gathering.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me, sir. And I'm happy that again, I'm part of this International Film Festival. And thanks to Dr. Bala and Dr. Ambrish ji for inviting me this time again. And we have been organizing, actually last year we could not be part of this, but when we organized first festival, Ciffi, we were part of that. And thank you, Ambrish ji, for inviting me this year again. And we have been organizing this festival, We Care Film Festival, exclusively on disability issues. We started this festival in 2003, and now it is 19th year. And for the last 19th years, we have organized film festival at 196 venues across India and other part of the world. We have got more than 1,200 films from 150 countries. So this is our small kitty we have. We have been organizing this festival along with our founding partners, United Nations and UNESCO. And UNESCO also recognized this festival in 2015. I'm also happy to see my friends, Professor Ujwal, KG Suresh was there, and others, friends from India and from Australia. And I'm also going to associate with Australia in another way also, because my daughter is going to study music in Australian Institute of Music. So that we can explore later on also. So when we started, I would like to mention, as Professor Ujwal said, collaboration is the key in today's world to participate. So if we have the participatory approach and the way Ciffi has gone by involving all stakeholders in the industry from India or other parts of the world, so that creates a platform where we can learn, or before learn, I would like to say where we can share our views through cinema. We can learn from the cinema of other countries, and from other countries films we also learn the culture of that country and how they tackle the issues. Like in our film festival, when we organized this festival, started this festival on disability issues, we were not aware that we have that we will get films from across the globe. And the way it is your third edition, so I'm very happy to see that 3,000 plus films in the third year only you got. It's a tremendous. I think it's a congratulations to Ciffi and your team, sir. So this is this gives us food of thought that in the coming years, how can this film become internationally of repute? So when we organize this festival, our main concern is only to educate the students of educational institutions, not only mass comm, but filmmaking, but also other esteemed students also, to learn about the culture and issues we have around the world through the medium of films. And once again, thank you, Amrish ji and Dr. Bala and Aditya Seth ji and all the management of this Ciffi. Thank you very much once again for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your motivational words. Mr. Tigmanshu Dhulia, National Award winner, film director from Bollywood, is the festival ambassador for Ciffi 2021. We are extremely thankful for his constant support. Now I request Mr. Praveen Nagda, the CEO of Peregrine Public Relations, a full-service corporate communication and public relation consultancy firm, which is delivering a pan-India reach to its clients. And sir also heads the White Coffee House, an independent events and celebrity engagement company. Sir has been closely associated with many national and international events related to cinema for children, art and culture, like 20th International Children's Film Festival, Second National Children's Film Festival, CFSI Film Bonanza, Pune, Swayamve, an initiative of Jackie Shroff Foundation, Mumbai, and to name a few. I request Mr. Nagra to please address the gathering.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, a big congratulations to everybody at DME, Dr. Saxena, Dr. Sushmita Bala, Dr. Vikrant Kishore, and everybody else who has worked very hard on this festival. I think it's a giant leap for the students of DME to hit 3,000 plus numbers. Last year, we had 110 films. This year, you have participation from 111 countries, which is amazing. Very interesting work so far. As I say, films itself is a universal language. Films don't require a specific language also to communicate. You show some films to children, they will watch films and they'll understand the message. And that's the power of communication that films hold. So when it comes to films for children, or when it comes to films which are related to cultural issues, you have films binding us in a very unique manner. It's a ability of films to bring people together and develop a kind of environment which is of social harmony, cultural harmony. On one hand, when you talk of children, it can help them learn a lot of things, values, morals, life goals, which they will probably not listen to their parents or sometimes not even the schools, but films may end up teaching them a lot of things, of course. Similarly, it helps in bringing people from across the world together. India is a country which is diverse. The whole world has its own cultures. I'm talking about these specific things because in the last 2 years, my own experience of managing 2 festivals. One of them is around children, and other one is around the cultural issues, cultural aspects. And I see that the films have a great potential to ensure that the world grows. We all live in peace, harmony, and peaceful coexistence. There are no wars, there are no calamities, there are no man-made or human-created disasters which we find in our social fabric often. All of these things can actually be prevented through good creative work, good creative expressions of films where it can reach from different countries to countries. And that's all I would like to say. And it's a great initiative. Ciffi is a great initiative. Ciffi has been doing excellent work in terms of engaging people from all over the world. And I think they should continue. Once again, congratulations to everybody. Best wishes to all the team members, and hope this festival will set one more new benchmark to be spent in the next year to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Praveen, sir. You have always helped us in the execution and the conception of the film festival. I still remember the meetings before the conception of the film festival and before the call for entries, film submission for Ciffi 2021. You have helped us, guided us how to execute and how to plan a meticulous execution of the film festival. Thank you so much, sir. We are honored to have with us here today Mr. Kavardeep Gulati, a renowned theater and film practitioner and also one of the pioneers of the street theater movement in India. A member of the Film Writers Association, Mr. Gulati is a writer, actor, and director of many fictional and non-fictional short films, serials, and ad films. He has made several socially relevant films based on pantomime, combining theater and films as a form of expression. He has produced more than 200 documentaries, ad films, corporate films, training films, around 6,000 radio programs in different languages. Due to COVID-19 lockdown activity, theater and films came to stand still, and Mr. Gulati wrote and directed 10 short films which are available on YouTube. Sir, I request you to please address the gathering.
Thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this festival. I was also part of this festival, and I'm proud to be part of this festival. सबसे बड़ी बात है हाइब्रिड जो इस फेस्टिवल में इन्होंने चेंजेस की हैं, मुझे ऐसा कि लास्ट ईयर 2 साल से हमारी फिल्म मेकिंग में बहुत सारी चेंजेस आई हैं। इस पेंडेमिक ने हमें बहुत सी चीजें दी हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें छीनी हैं। हमारे सोचने के तरीके बदले हैं और फिल्म मेकिंग में पूरा चेंजेस आई हैं। आज की जो कम क्रू के साथ हुई है और जो बाउंड स्क्रिप्ट के साथ काम लगे हैं, यानी फिल्में ऐसे होने लगी पूरी फिल्म तैयार होने लगी है। ये सब कुछ इस पेंडेमिक ने हमें दिया गया है और इस पेंडेमिक ने हमें दिया कि सारी दुनिया की फिल्में जो है ऐसा लगता है जैसे वो एक जो है एक फैमिली, हम लोग किसी भी कंट्री की कोई भी फिल्म आज ओटीटी पे देख सकते हैं और उनको समझ सकते हैं। वो एक बहुत बड़ा चेंज आया है और मैं अभी अमीश सक्सेना साहब की उन्होंने ये हाइब्रिड करने की सोची है। ये बहुत बड़ा एक काम है। वो इस बात को सीखेंगे और 30 साल में इस फेस्टिवल ने अपने खुद का नाम कर लिया है। 3 हफ्ते में और इसकी पार्टिसिपेशन हो तो आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि क्या बढ़िया बात है और बहुत लकी हैं जो इसका पार्ट बन रहे हैं। जितना बनाने से सीखता है उससे ज्यादा फिल्म देखने से समझेंगे। तो आई बी टेकिंग वन क्लास, सो लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू सी मोर फिल्म्स और बेस्ट ऑफ लक टू एवरीबॉडी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Deepak sir. Happy to introduce another member from New Delhi Film Foundation, Mr. Ashish K Singh, founder and general secretary, New Delhi Film Foundation, independent documentary filmmaker, a cinema lover with a commitment to promote viewing of good cinema, a broadcast journalist by profession for more than 20 years, and he has worked with various channels like Star News, NTTV, Aaj Tak. Sir, I request you to please address the gathering.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be part of 3rd Cineast International Film Festival of India. And this is the 2nd year when New Delhi Film Foundation is associated with this wonderful film festival as its institutional partner. And for this, we sincerely thank Delhi Metropolitan Education, Deakin University, the whole festival directorate and the organizing team, and especially its festival director, Dr. Ambrish Saxena, Dr. Manmeet Kaur, Dr. Vikrant Kishore, Dr. Susmita Bala and all. And I just wanted to tell you something about New Delhi Film Foundation. New Delhi Film Foundation is a film society committed to creating an awareness of good cinema in the society. We screen films, we review films, we write about films, and soon we plan to facilitate young filmmakers to make their own cinema. So an association with Delhi Metropolitan Education for this wonderful festival is also one of the objectives we are pursuing in this direction. And we want to create an awareness of good cinema, understanding of good cinema in society. And I'm very sure that this kind of festival would be helpful in obtaining that targets. And I just wanted to tell about this festival that we are just coming out of a long and stressful pandemic times where cinema industry has suffered badly worldwide. And but while the cinema screens have been inaccessible and the theatrical experience have become so challenging and difficult, the audiences have got wonderful privilege to have to look beyond the cinema of their staple diet and staple dose of entertainment. Now they have access to cinema of the whole world, transcending all the boundaries, regions, language, and nations. So for this new age and a smart audience, it's a wonderful opportunity to have a festival like Cineast International Film Festival, which is being organized on a hybrid mode. So people can, enjoy the physical screening and online screening too. And it's for that smart audience, it's like an icing on the cake, where they are going to have an opportunity to watch more than 100 films selected out of 3,000 entries worldwide. So I'm very sure that the Cineast International Film Festival is going to rock, and it will be a wonderful step, in promoting the good cinema and making our audience more sensible and more understanding. I wish all the best and all my best wishes to this wonderful festival. And Ciffi, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashish sir. Thank you so much for your kind words. We have listened from our esteemed guests from Australia, from advisory board members, from our festival partners. But this inaugural ceremony would be incomplete if we will not listen to our Vice Chairman, Sir, Mr. Aman Sahani. He is the man behind all the support, motivation, the man behind our all endeavors. He has always supported and motivated us to execute, to plan, and to organize such grand and flagship events at DME Media School. Requesting Mr. Aman Sahani to please address the gathering.
Thank you so much. Good morning to everybody. This is a wonderful event. This is a wonderful start to this event. And this is an event we're all very excited about. And in these uncertain times, it's a big undertaking to have an event like this. It is difficult to plan, it is difficult to execute, but these are the sort of things that we enjoy, to take up challenges and work hard to complete them. There is a lot of uncertainty around the new virus, the new variant these days, so it was very difficult to plan whether this should be in an offline mode, in a purely online mode, and we've decided to go down the middle and do a hybrid event, which looks like something which we might do in the future as well, do a lot of hybrid events in which we're also able to get a lot of support, get a lot of interaction with people from far away as well. And on that note, I'd like to thank everybody who's supporting us, who's collaborating with us, in particular Deakin University. Has been with us for a while now, and we've done really well together, and I'm hopeful that we will continue to do so in the future as well. So everyone who's collaborating with us, a big thank you to you, and my best wishes to the students who are a part of this. This is very important for students. You're missing out on a lot of things that would be normally done on campus, but we must make the best of the situation that we are in. So please, by all means, do contribute, do involve yourself in all the programs that are going on. So my best wishes to you, and well done to the team that is organizing this. It's difficult to organize. Well done. My best wishes. I'll be a part of this entire program. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your kind words. Before I formally call Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari to extend her vote of thanks, I personally want to thank my team behind the camera, Ms. Shruti VS, Dr. Tinam Bora, Ms. Mudita Raj, and Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari. Attendees, they might don't understand what is going on behind the camera. They all are coordinating with me since morning, whom to call, what to do now, who is going to be the next speaker of this ceremony. So I thank you each and everyone, especially these 4 people who have actually worked with me through the smooth conduction of this inaugural ceremony. I request Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari, Associate Professor, DME Media School, to extend her vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, Manmeet ma'am. It is an honor for me to propose vote of thanks to this Augustus gathering in the inaugural ceremony of Ciffi 2021, world's first 7-day hybrid film festival by educational institutions of 2 countries, DME Media School of DME, Noida, Delhi NCR, India, and School of Communication and Creative Arts, Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. First and foremost, I would like to thank all the filmmakers who have contributed in Ciffi, making us reach a landmark of 3,000 plus films in the 3rd edition of Ciffi. I would also like to express my gratitude to the jury members who spent long hours in shortlisting these films, Mr. Nimish Kapoor, Mr. Pankaj Rakesh, Mr. Murtaja Ali Khan, and Ms. Supriya Suri. We really appreciate your efforts. My deepest gratitude to all the dignitaries from Australia, Professor Phillip, Mcintyre, Dr. Simon, Dr. Martin Porter, Dr. Sean Redmond, Mr. Anupam Sharma, Mr. Anush Kulsheshwar, and none other than our festival director, Dr. Vikrant Kishore. Thank you all for joining us and being a very encouraging partner. I would also like to thank advisory board members of Ciffi 2021, Professor KG Suresh, Professor Ujwal Chaudhary, Professor Gauri Chakravarti, Mr. Kanwar Deepak Gulati, Dr. Sanjay Ranade, Mr. Aditya Seth. Thank you all for your guidance and directions for making Ciffi a successful film festival of its kinds. I would also like to extend a warm regard and gratitude to our partners, Mr. Praveen Nagda, Mr. Satish Kapoor, Mr. Ashish K Singh, Mr. Amitabh Srivastav. Thank you all for collaborating with us in this journey. I hope our bond will go a long way in near future. I would also like to thank our festival partners, Cover Drive Productions, Vigyan Prasar, CMS Vatavaran Environment and Wildlife Film Festival and Forum, Kids Cinema 2020 and Online International Children's Film Festival, Culture Cinema, VKR Film Festival, Delhi International Film Festival. Another partners from Australia, Asian Media and Cultural Studies Network, Australia India Film Practitioners and Researchers Network. Institutional partners, GMEC, Global Media Education Council, Indian Documentary Producers Association, Indian Academy of Shorts, New Delhi Film Foundation. Ciffi's media partners are APN News, The Policy Times, and Hindi Gaurav. Thank you all for associating with us for this mega film festival. On behalf of DME Media School and Team Ciffi, I would also like to extend gratitude to the management and leadership team of DME, Mr. Vipin Sahani, Ms. Kiran Sahani, Mr. Aman Sahani, Justice Bhava Singh, Dr. Ravi Kant Swami. Thank you for motivating us and making this possible. I would now like to mention name of Professor Amrish Saxena, Festival Director, and Professor Susmita Bala, Festival Chief Associate Director. Thank you for being there at every step, and we feel elated to be part of this team. Thank you for your endless backing. Now, I would like to thank our technical and production team, Mr. Sumantra Sarthidas, Mr. Sachin Nair, Mr. Yogesh Sharma, Ms. Mudita Raj, and their students team who made this program flawless. I would like to thank all the faculty members of DME Media School, Ms. Manmeet Kaur, Ms. Shruti VS, Dr. Teenam Bora, Mr. Pramod Pandey, Dr. Krishna Pandey, Ms. Supriti Arora, Mohammad Kamil for putting their heart and soul to this International Film Festival. Last but not the least, our Students Brigade Spark, who have worked day and night in various capacities, and in coming days, we will see them on air during panel discussions, masterclasses, and workshops. I thank all the participants who joined us today online through Facebook, Zoom, and here in the Studio 62 for this inaugural ceremony. Thank you all once again for being part of 3rd edition of Sinester International Film Festival of India, Cinematic Rejuvenation, #Cinema 2021. Thank you so much.